Summer Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, let's talk a little lightweights. And unfortunately, we got to talk about a Negro League fighter, right? One of my Negro League fighters, y'all know who they are. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Demetrius Andrade, Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? Michael Hunter. Guys like that, we ain't given the opportunity to be great. And some of the ones that even, a Deontay Wilder is, a Terrence Crawford is, to lesser extent, they're a little bit more known, but they still are not treated correctly, right? But these Negro League fighters, all of them you can ask who they fought, right? Because people do extras not to fight them. Now, Bob Arum is an old promoter for everybody. He promoted everybody over the years, 89 years old right now. We've heard about 2 or 3 months ago that he straight up had NBF on his chalkboard. No black fighters. So, people, when you say stuff that's true, right, people still try to get upset, right, but they're not really upset. They just don't want it to come out. They're really doing this. Man, stop telling them, we see what's up, but don't say nothing about it, right? So let me just give you an obvious example of this NBF and, and then Negro League fighters. Unfortunately, we got to talk about it. Now, Teofimo Lopez, lightweight champion, almost undisputed, just missing one belt. He just beat Lomachenko and pushed him into fame, right? We think he's going to want to unify the division, become undisputed by fighting Devin Haney, right? He says, I ain't going to fight Devin Haney for 3 to 5 years, right? Then I heard Teofimo Lopez say a day or two ago, hey, he's not ready. He's got to still build up. Like he hasn't done enough, right? Now, Devin Haney has more wins. I think Devin Haney's about 20 and 0 or something like that, 22, 23 and 0, right? 15 knockouts, something like that. Teofimo Lopez is 16 and 0, right? With about 13 knockouts. I'm missing, I haven't seen lately, but in that area. So Devin Haney has more wins and he has a belt. So you're telling a champion he doesn't have enough. He has to continue to develop, right? That's what you're saying there. A champion, right? It's not a prospect anymore. So that was funny. So now you're hearing that, a couple of weeks back you heard that, okay, Bob Arum said, hey, something? We'll fight with Ryan Garcia, right? Ryan Garcia, he has so many Instagram followers and all that stuff. We'll fight with Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan Garcia's in a fight with Luke Campbell coming up soon here in a week or so, right? With Luke Campbell, right? For the interim title, and the winner has to fight Devin Haney. So you're not going to fight Devin Haney, who has the title, who can make you undisputed, but you'll fight a Ryan Garcia, who doesn't have a title, right? Now it goes even further. You would think that's bad enough, but you'll say, well, Ryan Garcia, man, at least he got all them, he got all those Instagram followers and stuff like that. If you're not going to go for undisputed, then yeah, you go for somebody who people in Instagram and social media knows them. That's important nowadays, right? Okay, cool. That ain't cool, but, moving along. Now, Bob Arum says he'd love to make the Luke Campbell fight, right? He'd love to make the Luke Campbell fight. Luke Campbell's 20 and 3. Right? Every time he stepped up, Luke Campbell's best win is I forget a dude's name, but it's not that great. It's a guy with 2 losses, but that's his best win. Because Luke Campbell lost against Lomachenko, and you can. He lost against Jorge Linares, and you can. And I forget the other brother's name, about Mendy or something like that. Got 4 losses. He lost to him earlier, but he avenged that loss. So, it's not bad, but Bob Arum ready to make that fight if he beats Ryan Garcia. Now, mind you, the winner is supposed to fight Devin Haney, right? But Bob Arum wants to come in and swoop that person up, but not fight Devin Haney. So, bottom line is, this is another example of how these Negro League fighters get treated, right? The same thing happens to Demetrius Andrade or Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, Guillermo Rigondeaux. When these fighters are really, really, really good like that, the key is to keep them away. Keep them away as far as you can. And even if they're champions, right? And this is what's wrong with boxing. If someone's a champion, you shouldn't be able to tell a champion, hey, you got to build up. I'm a champion. What do you build up? That's for people who's not champions. Tell that to them, right? But we continuously have that, right? And we have Devin Haney, who is now 22. I always call him 21, but he's, time goes by. He's 22 now, and he could probably be undisputed with a fight with Teofimo Lopez. And his resume is better than everybody's, right? They say, well, he beat Gamboa in a one-sided match. Everybody gonna be, even Gervonta Davis wasn't one-sided, right? He beat him in a one-sided match, Gamboa. And if Gamboa's healthy right now, I see somebody else do that. I don't think so. Gamboa only lost 3 times. Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis win his toward Achilles, and your boy Terrence Crawford, but he lost one other fight. He got 4 losses, I think. Right? But Gamboa is still awesome, right? You got to go. Somebody else beat him like that. Let's see if somebody else is going to do him like that when he's healthy, right? I think he deserves a rematch against Gervonta Davis. But like from the last 6 or 7 fights from Devin Haney, he's taken about 3 or 4 O's, and there's nobody with more than 2 or 3 losses there, right? Now Teofimo Lopez has a pretty decent record too, because his last 8, he's only got 16 fights, but 8 of them last 8 are formidable opponents. You know, no one over 3 losses there, right? So, but I'm still saying Devin Haney's resume is better than most of these guys, right? So, at the end of the day, my resume is better, and I'm undefeated. I'm the key to undisputed. You only have to fight me, you'll be undisputed. Doesn't that sound familiar? Canelo, all he had to do was fight Demetrius Andrade, and he would have been undisputed, right? But when these guys are formidable and awesome, then we go around them, and we act like what they've done is not achieved, is not nothing. Who have they fought? We're trying to fight you, and it will be for undisputed in your division, which would be historical, but we ain't trying to get into history. We're going to go around and start trying to fight anybody else except you. And this is happening to Devin Haney as we speak. That's important stuff. So keep your eye on Devin Haney and watch how Teofimo Lopez acts and Bob Arum. They're going to fight everybody except him. And the things they're saying about Devin Haney, like he needs to build himself up. Kambosos needs to do the same then, right? Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia definitely have to do the same then, right? None of them are champions. That is the key. And that will most of the time be the key every time we talk about this, these Negro League fighters. Either they're going to have champions and we're avoiding them, or they're awesome and we're not going to give them an opportunity to have a championship. And it's just too many of those in fighting right now. So we got to keep our eye on them and keep talking about them. Y'all get that? Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And we up out of here, y'all.